welcome back to Furious Driving and the V8 Rover. Well, there's been a bit of a delay for a week or so whilst I was waiting for some stuff to arrive, which is now here, and while I was doing a few bits to the Volvo. Also, I was trying to find something. I was trying to find the control rod for the automatic gearbox kickdown. I couldn't work out where it had gone. Turns out it was actually here, up against the bulkhead all the time. It never left the car, it turns out. Unfortunately, it has got a broken end on it, which means it's not actually serviceable or usable, but at least I know where it is, so I guess that's partly progress. But now I know what that one is and how long it is, I can kind of work around that and try and reconnect everything but that, and I can put all my new service items, which are now here. And if you are a Patreon or a member of the channel, you'd have seen me unboxing all this stuff a couple of days ago, and my actual genuine reaction when I saw the invoice for it. Whoops, that'll be the invoice just there. I don't know what, I didn't ask how much it's going to cost. Holy! I just spent £199. That's quite a lot. Crikey, I was actually expecting that to be about 70 quid. I probably should have asked how much that was going to be. Wow, okay. Right, let's install some service items. So this car has got a chance of starting soon. But I'd already picked all these spark plugs up from GSF because I had a mega 60% off sale the other day, and they're £2 each. But even so, at £2 each, it's still 16 quid for a pack of spark plugs. And when you're used to using 4-cylinder cars for your entire life, buying 8 spark plugs at once seems excessive, although when I do the Alpha, that's an 8 spark plug car as well, even though it's only a 4-cylinder. Right, let's hope they're the right ones. And the gap on these things is 0.8 to 0.9 millimeters, which is as high as this gauge goes. In fact, that's oops, a little bit tight. They seem to be gapped at 0.8 anyway, so there we go, that's right. This will at least stop anything falling into the engine. Oh, this is much easier without the exhaust manifold on. Right, now I should have a rotor arm in here. This is something I didn't think I need to replace, to be honest, but then how often does the metal part of a rotor arm drop out when the car's in storage? Oh well. There we go. Now I've got a distributor cap and HT leads, but I'll leave them off for the moment because I don't want the car to actually fire just yet. Save that fun for another day. Now, this is always a questionable one with this car because this is an SD1 front plate, so I just want to make sure this is an SD1 oil filter to make sure it is actually going to fit. Oh no, it doesn't screw on. Well, this was something of a shock and a relief at the same time because I thought this cap was broken, so I ordered a new one, didn't ask the price. It turned up 54 quid for this new cap. Genuine shock. And I've just gone to fit it and realised it's actually not the cap that's broken, it's the wire. So the cap is fine, I just need to repair this connector on top. So I'll have to ask nicely if I can return that one. Now the oil filter is another thing. This is an SD1 front plate on this car, so I asked for an SD1 V8, which it is. However, just trying it on here, it seems like the thread is a little bit too small. Now in the past I've ordered a Fram, hang on, I've got a bit of paper over there, W396/2, but I'm again asked nice if I can return that one as well, so that's annoying, but I don't know. I'll have a chat with them on the phone in a minute, see if we can sort that one out. But yeah, so I'm very relieved that can go back. I'm hopeful that can go back. Right, what else have we got? A coil, yes. Somewhere in my garages I've got a flamethrower coil for these cars, or for this car in fact. When I did the electronic ignition conversion, I've got a flamethrower. I have literally no idea where that's gone, so I did go and buy a new Lucas high power coil to put on here instead. So that can go and live over here. So many wires everywhere. I think I'll find a couple of bolts for that because there doesn't appear to be any bolts in the bulkhead because I took them out to paint it and then lost them. Also, we've also got a fuel oil pressure gauge. This is utterly vital. And I was trying to work out where this goes, and it's here on the back of the pump. So oil will not fall out of there, and I will know if the engine is about to die. I hope. one more plug plugged in. There are a lot of unnamed random plugs in here, which I honestly have no clue where they go because the labels have fallen off since the car's been parked. They're going to go to sensors. That one's been taped off, and that one's been taped off because I did a ballast thingy conversion a while ago, and that one taped off or just broken. Those two must go somewhere. I'll figure it out somehow. Now, I couldn't find the original nuts and bolts, but handily, having stripped down 2 engines, I've got quite a lot of spare ones knocking around the place, so that can sit in there. That doesn't seem right. Why does that feel wrong now? Yeah, it clearly is wrong because you can't get the HT lead onto it. That doesn't look very good either, really. How on earth did this go? I need to go and find some old photos of this engine bay. Now, the bit that is now holding me up, apart from the broken control link down there, is this bit of pipe which goes just here between these 2 fuel inlets, this fuel pipe here that goes somewhere, and the fuel pump itself. No idea where it's gone, it's vanished. So I need to go and search in the other garage and try and find that, because I can't do anything else as far as getting the car runs, well certainly not run the car, until that bit turns up, which is kind of annoying. I might have to go and put this away and then go hunt in the garage. Right, so we're carrying on a couple of days on from where we left off last time, because it was a really warm day. There was lots of distractions. Wife was painting the fence, neighbour was working in his extension. There's too much going on, and I didn't have all the right bits anyway. So since then we've got a few packages, not least the Rover Cup, which is based on this car's own bonnet badge that would sit there normally. Now got a new oil filter, which I actually haven't checked yet. That was my bad, not the fault of the guy who posted them out, because I said SD1 oil filter, thinking this was an SD1 oil pump, but it's not. It's P6 pumps. I gave him a number off the box from the old last oil filter, which is something I've done a couple of times, saved the oil filter boxes for reference like that. That does actually scroll this time. So we are good. Super. I will save putting that on until I've finished lowering and raising the engines, because I don't want to clonk that on anything and damage the threads. I also noticed that there was a second, I don't know if I said this last time, but it's a few days since I recorded the first bit. There is a second unblanked hole on the oil pump, which, looking at some photos, is for a second oil pressure sensor. There is a sender and a sensor, so there's a light, a red light, and a pressure gauge. And I've only got one pressure sensor in here, so I've been searching everywhere. I cannot find where the other one has gone, so I'm going to have to buy another one. They're about 40 quid. Yeah, got one little sensor in there, one stray wire waiting to plug into something, but no sensor to plug into it. So yeah, need that. Post haste. Other exciting deliveries have come. I spent a long time looking at the fuel system, trying to work out where do the pipes go, because this doesn't make any sense. I've got this kind of big curvy return pipe type thing here, which goes into this carburettor. Now I can see where it kind of just lays on the engine, it's shaped into where it wants to go, but I couldn't figure it out because that's the wrong fitting, it doesn't work out. And I was looking at photos online. Eventually I figured out I was missing this bit, which is the link pipe between the 2 carburettors, also to the return line, and takes the input from the fuel pump. And I don't know what I did with that. I don't even know why I took it off in the first place when I stripped the engine down, but this is gone. Luckily I managed to find this one online, so this is now the first thing I'm going to fit, because this is kind of all that's standing in my way between starting this car and not. There's a lot of things standing in my way between this car starting and not. Right, so it looks like the last thing I need for a complete fuel system is a little bit of pipe to go from here to here. But I've got 2 offcuts. One is too small in terms of diameter, the other one is too big. It just doesn't slide on, well, it slides on too easily. And obviously I don't have a connector to go onto here, so I'm not quite sure what connector that would be. I need to go into Car Builder Solutions and look in their catalogue and mail order something. The other thing I need to go and get hold of is some more fuel line, because this fuel line here, apart from being quite old and hard, is very, very old, and so it's not going to be ethanol safe. So whatever size of pipe this is and however far back it goes into the car, it needs to be replaced with new stuff, which only goes down to the fuel tap just down there. It needs to be replaced with new stuff that is ethanol safe, because this will just dissolve and dump petrol over the car, basically over the back of the engine, which would be a bad thing. Right, so I'm that far, well technically that far, from a fuel system, which is a big improvement. And next up I've got this connector to the fuel pump. It's the positive power delivery line. It was just like a double-ended connector thingy, which is broken off at the fuel pump end. I was going to just solder this, but I thought actually it might be quite a good idea to have a detachable connection, so if there's an emergency of some sort I can pull that and stop the fuel supply. So I'm going to go with these bullet connectors here. Now I know people are going to moan at this saying I should be doing proper soldering and stuff, but it's been like it for about 25 years, so I'm sure it'll continue to be fine a bit longer. And as I say, I would rather have the option to lift the bonnet and pull the plug on the fuel supply, because the battery's in the boot, so if I open the bonnet and saw it chucking petrol everywhere, it's quicker to just pull that wire, then run around the back, find the boot's locked, get the key out, the ignition. Doing a headless chicken impersonation all the time while the car burns. Right, another step closer. While I'm here doing little niggly things, I'll just find the 7/16 spanner. There is a bracket here to hold this little vacuum line stable and stop it flapping around the engine bay. Where did that go on to? I think it was this one. So we're really not into all just the niggly things at this point now. The engine is in, the bulk of the work's done. It's just connecting stuff to make it actually work. I've just noticed one more unblanked hole in top of the timing cover housing. I watched a Roadkill Garage episode last night where Freiberger and Dulcich took a Chrysler powered boat out on the lake. Whoop, don't fall away. And they got it on the water, and immediately there was water gushing into the boat from the engine cooling system because there's a plug they'd forgotten to put into the cooling manifolds. So even people who know what they're doing can make mistakes like this. And yeah, Dulcich and Freiberger do know a lot about building engines, way more than I do. Right, yet another thing that's not even on the list, ticked off the list. Right, next. I'll go back to fixing the automatic gearbox, which I hate. Now this is the kickdown linkage which sits behind the engine, which I thought I lost, and this is the broken end of it. I get a focus on the things. I know the cameras don't focus on tiny objects in front of faces. I actually sent this off to Wins in East Grinstead because they break a lot of Rovers and things, fairly local to me, to say this is the bit I need, can you sort me out? And he sent me the part back with a good, well, unbroken end piece here. So let's try and get the old bit off. Doesn't matter if I break that anymore because that's already broken. There we go, now unscrews though. I can screw this on there. I seem to remember this bit goes at the top and hangs down, and I can try and get this all connected up and then maybe get the gearbox connected, and that'll stop dragging its prop shaft on the floor. Now, I've not disturbed this rusty nut here because that still should be the correct length. Right, so that lifts up and clicks into place and locks it in where it needs to be. Right. So I'll take you off the tripod again so you can see what's going on. I don't think I'll be able to film this, but if you can see that little rusty nubbin down there, this needs to connect up to that. Oh, I can't do this one-handed. That needs to go on there and dangle down to, you might be able to see it, I'm not quite sure. Now, at the end of the last video I was at something of a loss as to which control rod goes where, trying to work out what goes what, and I was thinking I might have to take it to someplace else to look at, but I found well, put a question on the classic Rover forum, and a very helpful chap called Harvey sent me a photo through with all instructions of which one goes where. It's only 3 rods, but it's confusing enough if you don't know where they go. So hopefully I can now just connect up those 3 rods, hopefully have the car in neutral as well, so I can push it, because last time I connected it and it wouldn't come out of park. So with a bit of luck I can get this thing to actually be good. So I can risk lowering this thing down yet again. Try not to get underneath the gearbox or anything because it's all quite heavy. So, can this squiddle through there? Yes, it can. Now that little end, if you can see that, needs to unbolt and go through the end of the plastic just to go through here. I need to unbolt this little thingy here and replace it with that. And that's like a retaining rod. It holds its location relative to the car. This one is the shifter rod, which goes to the gear shift, which is that thing there. So I'm clicking it into park and neutral where it's doing nothing because there's no rod on that one. Oh, hang on. This makes literally no sense. So I've got 4 rods now and the guy only talks about 3 in his description. I'm super confused. Okay, let's try and get that one there as well to lock it off. Oh, bumsy. And that can then drop in there. Most it should do. Yeah, it does just about. Washer. Oh, and there's a grommet up there for the speedo cable. Let's put the grommet in while I'm under here. Get the water out of the cabin. Oh, this is uncomfortable. I hate automatics and I hate being under cars, so why am I underneath a car for automatic gearbox? Answer me that one. Riddle me this. Okay, so we've got that one loosely done up. And there is the gear selector. Okay, yeah, which it pushes down to there, that makes sense. Oops. So which one's park and which one's neutral? That, I reckon, up the top is park. Yeah, it doesn't move, so that'll be reverse. I can only turn it one way. And that should be neutral. So that seems to turn quite happily in neutral there. Hang on, that would be drive next in that case. Oh no, oops. Yeah, that's hard along with the others, that's drive, so that's back to neutral. So where the hell does this go? Is question number 1. This is the kick down. So where the hell does kick down go to? And where on earth is my gear selector rod gone? That's the one thing I'm actually missing now. Anyone got any idea what to order these? Let's go and get a manual, see if it tells me what colour goes where. That may or may not be correct. Right, so now I've established that what I'm missing at the moment is the connector rod from there to there, which I didn't know I was missing until a second ago. So what the hell have I done with that? I'll jack this back up, I'll put the bolt back in that's keeping it supported, and I'll put one bolt in here to just keep it from dragging on the floor. I don't think I'll be able to reconnect that selector with this in the down in the up position. Okay. I need to order some more bolts for this as well, because I seem to be missing a good selection of the fixing bolts. I've only got one for one side at the moment for some reason. It doesn't need to go on far because the car's not actually going anywhere. Just as long as it's wound all the way onto the thread. Right, good. Let's go find a bolt for that thing. See if I can push it this time. Last time I pushed it, I hadn't realised that the gear selector wasn't doing anything, and I thought I put it in neutral and I couldn't push the car. Didn't know why. Obviously because the actual selector on the side of the gearbox was still in park. Let's try and line these up. Oh, this appears to be shorter. Why is it short now? It was never short before. It's not been like wet and then shrunk in the wash. Let's make a list of things I need to do. So first of all, that gear selector. Then we need to put the heater hoses, radiator and its hoses, power steering, fuel line. What else do we need to do? Exhaust, I've forgotten the exhaust. Oil, that's quite a big one. Oil sender. Whatever that mysterious hole is just there. And make a blanking plate for the old mechanical fuel pump. It's not that many things and the car's pretty much done. I mean, a few of those are quite big things, but you know. Right, let's do something off this list. Before I put the jack away, let's see if this does roll in neutral now. Yeah, it does. Oh, I just think I might only have to do this one more time. Well, while I'm here, I might as well pop the distributor cap on there. Make it look a bit prettier. And I've got the distributor on there. I could also connect up these wires. Ah, there was a rod. There was a connector rod that went to this bit here. That's why I couldn't find out where to bolt that to. Minus and indeed plus. I'll leave the HTs off for now just because they'll get in the way and snag stuff. If I put that through there, I'll make it, I'll shorten these later on. I'll cut these a bit shorter once I've remembered. There is a bit of bracketry for the power steering pump and the alternator, which I haven't located. I think it's over there somewhere. Actually, I haven't found the alternator either, which is a bit of an expensive thing to lose. I wonder what I've done with that. That wouldn't go to that, would it? No. What am I saying? But it's the only thing it can be connected to. Oh, dear me, it's too many confusing things. Right, so it's starting to look very complete now, which is good. Oh, radiator brackets. Where have the radiator brackets gone? We're nearly there. We're getting very close to being done. This is good. Now, before I wrap up today to go and edit this video and order the bits I'm missing, I'll do one more thing to cross it off my list. This little thing down here, this down here, is where the old fuel pump used to go. I'll show you a cutaway of that in a second. This was the, well, just a hole. You can see the timing chain through the side of that. But I don't want to spend £10 on one of them plus £10 for a gasket. This is the old fuel pump gasket. If I go and bung this on a bit of metal and snip that out, I can make my own one, hopefully. Let's see if this is lethal or not. Actually quite neat for me. If anyone's wondering, this t-shirt is a character called Spawn from the Image Comics universe back in the, I'm going to say early 1990s. And it actually glows in the dark. Well, it used to anyway. I'm sure it still does. Yeah, not a bad finish. It's quite a good fit actually. Let's give it a little file down just to get the burrs and edges off it so it's not a dangerous thing in the engine bay. Right, that's actually not a bad fit down there. I'll just drill a couple of holes in that and then VHT the outside, paint it so it doesn't go rusty. The oil on the inside should take care of that. I don't really want to put paint on the inside in case it flakes off and goes into the oilways. Well, we've made a small amount of progress today. Going to go do some shopping again. This seems to be the standard thing for this particular build, doesn't it? I'll make a few small bits of progress, find out I've lost something or broken something, have to go and order it and wait a couple more days for the next thing to arrive. So I'm getting there. We're getting baby steps, inching it closer and closer. This engine is going to run so soon. I've nearly got absolutely everything, well, almost everything, to make it, in theory, work. I'm a bit worried it's going to start up and launch itself and I'll be looking like a right idiot here, a broke idiot as well, having spent a fortune on building a dead engine. But I don't see why that would happen. I think it should all be okay. It's just a matter of, well, fingers crossed making it go. The other thing I've noticed while I've been delving around underneath it is that there's a few bits of surface rust and there's a bit of filler actually on the inner wing on that side. So I'm going to go and tackle that before I go and put the wings back on. And right, thanks for watching. I'll see you again very soon. I might even go and do a bit on the Mercedes tomorrow. It's weather dependent. It looks like it might start raining again soon. If I don't speak to you in another video, we've got Retro Goes for a Drive coming on Friday. Haven't decided which car we're going to run on that one yet. We've got a couple of options. And Friday evening, 8 o'clock, going to be our bi-weekly live chat. So tune in 8 o'clock UK time and come and say hello. Take care, everyone. See you later. Well, look at this. I was just on the phone to Wins a second ago, ordering a bunch of stuff, including one of these. And I said, he said, could I go and measure it? And I said, well, I don't know how long it is. And you know what? I went out to the garage to try and work out how to measure this thing. And look what I just found in the garage, the thing I was trying to buy off him. And look what else I just found in the same box, which is buried in the boot. The blooming bit of fuel line I bought last week. I was also trying to buy that connector of him, and that's the fuel line I need to go to the fuel pump. Suddenly, oh, here's a distributor cap which I've misplaced. All the stuff in this box is all the bits I was completely stuck without. There's that tie rod I was talking about, which I couldn't remember where it had gone, which goes from, oops, it's going to keep rotating all the time. Oops, where does it go to? From there to there. Ah, all this stuff which I had no idea where it had gone. And here's the blooming flamethrower coil, which is the high power output one. Ah, so now I've got a spare coil. Didn't need to go and buy that one at all. What a doofus I am. Here's the well, recent to the car but barely used. Yeah, I do need new ones of these. I think these are pretty old and tired. The only thing I have had to just order, which I can't find in this box, is the oil pressure sender, which goes to the oil gauge, which is 90 quid. Ouch. Look, here's the fitting, the old fitting for the old coil. There was only one bolt in there, so I was right. It was bolted on there previously. Which one shall I use? The brand new Lucas one, or the older but very high powered flamethrower one? I think I'm going to go flamethrower actually, they're super powerful.